I'm just looking at the downloads. Act 3, Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we've done Act 3. Oh, shit. Act 3, Intermission, Part 1. What? Act 3, Intermission, Part 2. Act 3, Intermission, Part 4. Why is the intermission for... And then it goes into Act 4, Part 1, all the way to Act 4, Part 13, which is the end of Act 4. Then it goes into Let's Read Homestuck Recap, and then goes into Let's Read Homestuck Act 5, Act 1, Part 1. And that has 15 parts for Act 5, Act 1. And then Act 5, Act 2 has 17 parts. And then it's Let's Read Homestuck Recap 3. And then it goes back to Let's Read Homestuck Act 5, Act 2. All the way to Part 35, 38, 39. Act 5, Act 2 goes all the way to Part 40. Because, you know. What? What? I can't even. Don't even ask me to try to explain what I watched. I'm so confused. I get parts, but every time there's something I understand, there's another 10 things I don't understand. And that is the situation I'm in right now. We really need one of those pause screens, you know? That, I gotta make some time to create like a screen when I'm off so that the chat is bigger and in the center and all that sort of good stuff. And yeah, hopefully when the computers fix, this issue is just like so annoying. I filed for a refund on fucking PayPal, and if they don't, then I'm gonna have to spend my money to get the warranty looked at and all this shit. I can't believe it. It always clicks together in the end. I mean, sure. I take your word for it. Okay, so let's pop into Let's Read Homestuck Act 3 Intermission Part 1. Lucky I pre-downloaded all the stuff. I just have to, how do I, okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this like this. So I could do this. And then I put this like this. Is that semi-symmetrical? Sort of. Put it a little more. There we go. There we go. Oh, no, the bottom's a little bit. Yeah, okay, it looks okay. It looks sort of okay. Just a little bit there. There we go. There we go. I really have to get over my OCD. All right, let's go. Act 3 Intermission Part 1. Go.
Your name is Spade Slick. You're the leader of a notoriously vicious gang of mobsters called the Midnight Crew. A rival gang known as the Felt recently knocked over one of your favorite casinos. Your long quest of revenge has finally taken you through the front door of the mansion belonging to their loathsome boss, Lord English. Your subordinates, Clubs Deuce, Diamonds Droog, and Hot Boxcars have been dispatched to various locations throughout the mansion to begin carrying out your mission. Your objective is to locate and crack English's secret vault and plunder its mysteries. That's the business end of it. The pleasure will be in painting this ugly house red with the blood of those miserable green motherfuckers. You inspect the timekeeping devices. Stupid gang and their lousy obsession with clocks. The sooner all these idiots stop being alive, the better. You wonder where they are. It's awfully quiet in this mansion, sans all the dreadful ticking. It is suggested that you capture log the carriage clock. You obviously have no idea what that means. If it's some smart-ass way of saying to pick it up, forget it. You're already carrying an item. It's a trusty deck of cards. It is suggested that you build a fort with the clocks. You have an idea. That is so much better. Clocks destroyed, 4 out of 1,000. You check for traps under the billiards rug. What is under the rug is much worse than any trap you can imagine. is a member of a species that you do not recognize with a ghastly void upper lip. You cover the unsightly individual back up and try to forget it ever existed. It is suggested that you play 32 pickup. You would need a deck of cards to play that in final game. Fortunately, all you have is your war chest, which you deploy on the floor. You open your war chest. You rummage around. It's no unusual assortment of belongings, and nothing any mobster worth this salt would be caught plotting and scheming without. Certainly nothing eyebrow raising. Bunch of blades, some playing cards, and a variety of other miscellaneous stuff. Also your vendetta itinerary and your heist map. It is suggested that you scavenge war chest for fancy headwear. If there are any elaborate hairdressers in here, you'll eat your haberdasher. But of course, there is only a plain and serviceable backup hat, which naturally conceals 2 licorice Scotty dogs. Which makes you think that maybe you were wearing your backup hat, and this is the usual one? Hell if you know. And the same damn hat! It is suggested that you hide inside your war chest. But you cannot properly hide inside the chest because you cannot close it while you're inside. Instead, you momentarily pretend it's a really cool automobile that commands the fear and respect of larcenous adversaries everywhere. Beep, beep, beep! I'll aboard the idiot wagon! It is suggested that you start up the Crosby top. Is that what this thing is? You've had it for some time and you don't quite remember how you got it. You never knew the identity of this pipe-smoking creature. Perhaps it could be the same species as the character you saw under the rug. But you know that's impossible because this one does not feature the same bizarre void lip. They're probably different species within the same genus. You go to mspaintadventures.com. You don't know why you're wasting your time on this website. It's for little children who poop hard in the baby-ass diapers. Also, you don't understand what the hell is going on or who all these characters are. It's all a lot of nonsense. You delete the time setting on the Crosby top.
But aren't they
Clock's
reading
destroyed,
his comic?
5 out of 1,000. It is suggested that you take the spade key. You take the rules card for blackjack. You've possessed this item for as long as you can remember. You do not yet know its significance, though you can hustle up a mean game of blackjack when you need to. You examine your vendetta itinerary. These are the mugshots of everyone who you are going to kill. You got a head start. You're already off crowbar, matchsticks, and quarters, depleting them of some of their muscle. You still gotta
like how
watch out
they're
for the
all-
others and stay aware of the despicable time shenanigans.
I like how they're all
Itchy is giving
what
you
is
the
it called?
slip repeatedly.
Like pool balls.
Those you've captured and interrogated just as repeatedly to no avail. Trace has broken into your secret hideout more times than you can count, while Finn always seems to be a step ahead of you and scoops your heists. Clover has all the intel and is highly cooperative. You might need him to crack the vault. He'll be guarded. Best to avoid dying in any direct confrontations unless you want a temporal mess on your hands. But if you need any repairs, you could always get to Stitch and persuade him. And you might need to if you can't kill Sawbuck with a clean shot. Eggs and biscuits are morons, but they are dangerous morons. Kansas a tank and your crew will probably need more ammunition than you pack to take him down. No one knows what Lord English looks like, but that'll be corrected tonight. You got dibs on English. He's all yours. You wonder where the number 8 mugshot went. It's right here. You aren't gonna kill Snowman. Is that a question? You examine your heist map. On review, your schemes seem a bit convoluted. But you wouldn't have it any other way. Deuce and Droog split up to neutralize as many felt as they can find. Your heavy muscle and expert safecracker, Boxcars, is headed straight down to the vault. You put the word out to your cronies for a status report. No response yet. You clean up all your junk and prepare to get this show on the road. You slip the spade key back into the deck of cards, then pocket the war chest. Smooth as clockwork, and every bit as logical. You enter the hallway near the main entrance. Funny, you didn't hear any commotion at gunplay, but it looks like there's already been some action in here. Or there will be. You can never take 10s for granted with these goons. 13 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed, apparently. Looks like Club's Deuce is getting back to you. He says he's got those tied up for interrogation. You ask him what else is new. Capturing that guy is like shooting a paralyzed monkey in the face.
You are now Club's Deuce. Club's Deuce, rough him up. He remains tight-lipped, so you deal him a senseless shin-drubbing with your crook of felony. Oh, the humanity! You can barely watch! He's probably still using his special ability to slow down time for himself. He can't feel a damn thing, and certainly isn't saying anything, apart from a very low noise which could just be him saying, ow, very, very slowly. Club's Deuce, punch clocks and faces to establish chronology. Why would you do that? Oh, these clocks are lovely. You see no reason to harm them. 987 out of 1,000 clocks unharmed. Club's Deuce, swap hats with those. You begin your feeble campaign of psychological warfare. Perhaps compromising his fashion motif is the way to get to him. Nope, looks like he's still in his weird state of status and doesn't really care. Either that or it's driving him nuts. Just very, very slowly. Dump the contents of your war chest over him. War chest? What are you talking about? All you've got is this simple, unassuming deck of cards. Club's Deuce, play some solitaire. Don't be stupid. To play solitaire, you need a deck of cards. I don't see a deck of cards, do you? All I see is your battle drobe. Club's Deuce, throw down the hat and stomp at it mercilessly. Oh no, it's itchy! And it looks like he's all wound up. He unties Doze and quickly swaps everyone's hats around. Doze proceeds to make a fleet-footed getaway. The chase is on!
Spade Slick, stop being Hot's boxcars. Alright, you're the boss. Hot's boxcars you ain't. Someone has replaced your plain and serviceable hat with a silly and undersized one. An outrage beyond compare. You're sure you know who the culprit was? You can still smell his overly caffeinated blood. 986 out of 1,000 clocks shown moisty. You lift your left leg and hold it a little ways in the air. Oops. 4 out of 15 green torsos dead. It is suggested that you wear CD's hat on top of your current one. You're already wearing Deuce's hat, you fool. The one on the floor is Droog's hat. This is exactly why you always keep a backup hat on hand. This son of a bitch on the floor here has played his last game of musical hats. Soon these lugs will learn to show you some respect. You made this town what it is, after all. Wasn't nothing but a bunch of dust and rocks before you got here. You deploy your chest and swap this dinky little hat for one more suited to your tastes. Wait a minute. Oh, thank God. Your precious Scotty dogs are still here. You don't know what you'd do without them. You don't even want to think about it. Die makes his usual sort of entrance. The nonplussed, vaguely bewildered sort.
You got it! Club's Deuce it is! You've opened your battle drobe in search of your backup head. You also need some more rope to retie Doze, who is currently tearing through the mansion as we speak. If you don't hurry, he may clear the chair within the hour. But it's a big mess. You mostly just see a bunch of bombs and cards. You're not sure what's what. You can never really remember which card to pick up. You can't believe how shitty your memory is. Club's Deuce, grab the deuce of clubs. You pick up your 2 licorice gummy bears. These need to be stored for safekeeping as soon as possible. Finding your backup hat has never been more urgent. Club's Deuce, pick up all of the cards and throw them at Doze. You pick up a bunch of cards and fling them Dozeward. Didn't accomplish a whole lot other than putting some of your private reading material on embarrassing public display. Club's Deuce, pick a card, any card. You're a busy guy, so you just pick any old thing that you put in your head. Since you're in a pretty big hurry, you'll assume that it's your backup hat. You stand nearby the 2 remaining cards on the floor, an off-suited King and Jack. Pick up card depicting stately blonde-haired fellows. You ain't gonna stand around Jack King all day long, so you pick up the Jack of Diamonds. Oh, here's your backup hat. Problem solved, yes? What? Club's Deuce. Forget your Club's Deuce. Believe you're Hot's boxcars.
You suddenly remember you were Diamond's Droog.
See you, randoms. Be
Whoever
good.
took your hat is about to discover he's the unluckiest man on earth. He'd better hope you find him dead. What you gonna do to him?
Oh shit, he's got an AK.
Less painful that
And then he's
way.
got
Diamond
another
Strobe,
AK.
wear backup head.
with a
You
scope.
don't have a backup head. All you got is this deck of cards. Oh wait, yes you do. It's stashed away in your
He's got a
Brawlzaleum.
50 cal.
It is suggested that you retrieve your hat from the Brawlzaleum. You are the only member of this band of thugs who is civilized enough to keep more than one backup head, as well as an extensive array of finely tailored suits. The Brawlzaleum seem like the best storage option for your exceptional wardrobe. If there's any better sort of compartment to keep your wardrobe in, you'd love to hear it. Also, there's a shitload of guns and cards in there too. You put on a backup head. Withdraw licorice fish from backup head. Whew. Your Swedish fish are still there. This is why it's a good idea to always
so
store your
confused.
candy in your backup head rather than your usual one. Other members of your gang have learned this the hard way, and they're finally starting to catch on. Suddenly you get cold-cocked in the face from the future. You know the knuckles belong to that sucker punch anywhere. Trace always knows where you've been. The spineless rat likes to follow your past trail around and mess with you. Trouble is, whenever he does, he lets you know exactly where he's going to be in the future. This time, you'll be ready for him. You radio Deuce for backup. Give him a time and place and exactly what path through the mansion to take. Diamond Stroog. Resume pursuit of wounded Felt member. You don't know if the wounded guy went up the stairs or came down, or who wounded him and when. Might have even been you, for all you know. It is suggested that you follow the trail of blood up the stairs. Can't overthink this time stuff. You go what you got and head upstairs.
I am so what? So firstly, they can see Jake, John, Rose, and maybe even Gigi as a webcomic, but John's been reading these guys as a webcomic. What the fuck? So webcomics are basically a window into another reality, it seems. And then we're actually... Oh, these guys are so... I'm sorry, I'm just so fucked. I am too sober for this. This is the type of shit... Mobius double reach around. What the fuck? Oh my god. This is just what the fuck. Is there still any doubt that the guy was high when he made this? No? Okay. Let's read Act 3, Intermission, Part 2. I mean, just look at the damn titling.
Clubs Deuce, follow Diamond Strokes' instructions. After giving a quick 10-4 over the radio, you take another look at your prisoner. He lucked out. Looks like round 2, your brutal interrogation will have to wait. You couldn't find any rope, so you tied him up with a Stretch Armstrong.
Oh god, he has other works.
Around. You don't remember how you got it. It looks sort of dumb, but it'll have to do. Clubs Deuce, just lock up those in the battle drobe. Time to hit the road. You beat your hostage into the back of your battle drobe with a bull penis cane. Wait, this is a bull penis cane? You flipped the fuck out over the fact that this is apparently a bull penis cane!
Meanwhile, running roughly parallel with present events.
Okay, 2 kings, 2 aces. You've got a 2. Oh!
Itchy always cheats, but he's always cheated for the last time. You're gonna jump to a timeline where he's dead. Yeah, looks like he got what he deserved. But, as usual, you seem to find yourself in a bit of a predicament. Spade Slick, make friends with Die. You introduce your cast iron horse hitcher to your new friend. die scrambles for a pin he's been saving for a special occasion. How many times does he have to tell you? He made this town.
You stop not being Hans boxcars. You've made your way to the Felt's secret vault. It's bigger than you were expected. You doubt you'll be able to rely on your usual safe-cracking method.
Well, imagine
Which is prying it from the wall with
as
your bare
Mobius
hands.
double reach around. Figure it laps into itself and works by guaranteeing that future action alter past so future happens. Okay.
You'll have to think of something else. It is suggested that you do a silly dance. This is just absolutely the most ridiculous thing you could possibly choose to do right now. I mean, come on. Why don't you take a closer look at that safe? Seriously, stop that. Hotch boxcars, pry the wall from the safe. That notion is even more ridiculous than the last one. Wait, who are you kidding? No, it isn't. Looks like the combination to the safe is entered via the hands of the clock. And you somehow doubt that spinning the hands around manually is going to cut it.
What?
Knowing these guys, you gotta alter the flow of time itself to make it work. Which, of course, is bullshit. You'd think you'll just blow it up instead. Time to get those on the radio. Hotch boxcars. Deploy punchbox. You deployed the raft tub. Retrieve 2 hearts from backup head. You'll retrieve your pair of wax lips. If anyone tried to steal your wax lips, you would eat their eyeballs and deliver an angry lecture into their empty eye sockets. Hotch boxcars. Peruse Red Cheeks magazine. Just glancing at it gives you palpitations. Literature for avid cardio aficionados such as yourself. Those burgeoning red humps. Their mischievous little tail. The snug, welcoming cleft. The saucy imagery is hard to beat. Harder than what you beat inside your chest now. Your heart is what you're beating. You'll beat it to Red Cheeks magazine pretty regularly, you'd say. It is suggested that you call clubs on the nearest card. You'll radio Deuce on the 10-4 cards. Let them know you need a powder monkey on the double. You'll hear ticking, and it's not coming from the big vault clock above. You hope it's not what you think it is. Oh no. Oh God. It's biscuits. His oven timer's ticking. This is no good. Ugh. There he is. This idiot thinks his special oven transports him into the future by the amount of time he sets on the timer. Well, he's sorta right. But in reality, all that's happening is he's hiding in there until the timer's up, then pops out. You'll guess he's relatively harmless if he's left alone. You can take him. But what you really have to worry about is if he teams up with... Oh no. That ringing. That god-awful ringing. You can hear it. Eggs. Son of a... Fuck! You might as well just grab one of your axes and kill yourself now.
Clubs Deuce, follow the path. In the future, you've already followed the path through the mansion that Droog told you to. Trace followed Droog's past trail even further back, but he found a much fresher trail crossing his path. Looks like this little guy's talking on the radio.
Path, not him dying.
Says something about how he'll be right there once he gives Droog a hand. Trace decides he'll trace this guy for a while, see what he's up to, and then mess with him, of course. In the present, you talk on the radio. Say something about how you'll be right there once you give Droog a hand.
He seems to be the only guy killing
Droog.
people. No, wait,
Take
not
a
this
good
guy, the other
look
guy.
on the new room you're in. Looks like the trail of blood ends here. Or originates. Whatever. Something went down here in the past.
Why in the future, though?
Is about to go down in the future? You know what? Never mind. 21 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed, apparently. Hang on. There's a tooth on the floor. You know that tooth. You felt its bite before. Finn was here. And judging by the forensics of the scene, the angle it hit the floor, the direction of the blood spatters, and how dry the blood is, you think you know exactly what he's about to pull. Or more specifically, what he's about to already have pulled. Finn always knows where you're going. He followed your future trail here. He likes to mess with you from the past. Trouble is, he tips you off to where he's been. This time, you're ready. Wait for it. Wait. Now! Predestined bullet holes are convenient. Gives you something to aim for. 7 out of 21 clocks re-destroyed.
Wait. Okay. I really want to wrap my brain around this one. I don't want to just like nod like an idiot and pretend like I realized it. Okay, let me try to wrap my brain around this one. The guy can see future trails. So fuck. Fuck. So he knows where you're going because he can see your future trail. And he likes to mess with you in the past because he knows where you're going to be. So he's in the future, but he's hopping into the past to mess with you. But because there's blood already, you kind of know that he's going to be shot there. So you start shooting, and because he's hopped from the future there to mess with you, you end up hitting him. Which causes him to bleed, which creates the blood spatter. So what's that guy's ability then? I need to wrap my head around it. Hey Mike, how's it going? Can someone explain it for me, please? I really want to wrap my head around that one. Intermission kind of shows how many types of time shenanigans can be used. Give me a min. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Let's continue, and I'll pause it when you get to it.
That doesn't make any sense. You'll never win anywheres. Dai realizes there is a cost to settling the score with you in this way. The cost is having to live in a desert amidst the ruins of a dead civilization for the rest of his life. He thinks that's stupid, so he pulls your pin.
Oh, shit! This guy is fucking savage! Doing okay, just playing Thief Simulator, and saw you were doing a game. I didn't have to worry about spoilers. Oh! Thief Simulator? Can I steal shit? That sounds tempting. This guy seems to be the only guy actually killing people. Wait, this guy's still technically alive. Wait, he's killed this guy. God damn these time bastards. And I have a feeling the 8-ball guy... Oh, this is good. This is just these shenanigans are going over the top.
You grab his voodoo doll and stick his pin in there for good measure. Might as well keep track of everyone you've offed this week, too. Not that you intend to abuse its power to settle your score. What's the point if you're not gonna get your hands dirty? Still, it might come in handy down the road. Lord English is supposedly indestructible. He's rumored to be killable only through a number of
name
glitches
for
and exploits
tres,
in
the
space-time.
Spanish word for three, as well as his ability to retrace people's past trails. Trace is skilled in infiltration and has invaded the Midnight Crew's secret hideout multiple times. He can also interact with people's past trails, even apparently hearing past conversations. Although if they are aware of his ability and that he is the culprit, they'll know for certain that he'll be at that very location in the future. He, like Finn, resembles a shark, a pool shark, and his... Okay. He can also interact with people's past trails, even apparently hearing past conversations. Although if you are aware of his ability and that he is the culprit, you will know for certain that he'll be at that very location in the future. But you don't know exactly when in the future, unless that's the point at which he messes with you. So, okay, so the guy went to where the blood splatter originated and where the guy's tooth is on the floor. He, like Finn, resembles a shark, a pool shark, and his ability is related to a shark's natural skill of following a source of blood in the water over a great distance. Truce uses his abilities to harass Diamond's Droog from the future, revealing his future location. Trace then follows Club Deuce's trail through the mansion, finding Deuce tied up in the hall. However, under Diamond's directions, Club had left a bomb in Doozy's hat. The resulting explosion kills both Doozy and Trace. Okay, that's a little further. Trace and sees people past trail while Finn can see people's future trails. Oh! Oh, right. Okay, that's a future trail. So that blood is only visible to him. Gotcha. Because I was like, where the fuck did the blood come from? Because Finn leaves evidence of his past whereabouts and actions, Diamond Droog was able to interact with Finn from the future, suggesting that it might have been possible to do the same with Trace, albeit much harder to predict where to strike and when. Finn died of blood loss resulting from the injuries inflicted by Diamond's Droog. Right, so he sees future blood. This guy messes with people in the past by seeing where they are. Because he can see people's future blood splatter, this guy is trying to mess with him in the past. He knows where he gets injured. He just waits for this guy to, just about to mess with him, and then whacks and hits him, and then just shoots. Gotcha. Okay, but he sees future blood trails. What about the bullet holes? That's a little bit... Been here 5 minutes and my head hurts. Trust me, Mike, I'm going like, what the fuck this whole time too. Welcome to this thing.
This doll may ultimately help you work the system if it comes to that. Clocks! Destroy them! 29 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. 5 out of 15 green torsos dead.
Diamond's Droog. Follow blood trail downstairs and finish him off. Problem with that is, he'll just see a future trail following him. That'll be nothing but a loud invitation for him to mess with you some more. Besides, better to leave him alive. You'd think you'll know where he'll lead you to. Just gotta be a little more subtle about tracing his blood trail. Keep your future trail out of his line of sight.
Spade Slick, returning to being Heart's boxcars.
Spade Slick cannot return to being Heart's boxcars because obviously Diamond's Droog is too busy being Club's Deuce. You just watched Trace throw a punch into thin air for some reason. That guy's awfully silly. He then sulks off somewhere. You don't realize he's following Droog's past trail through the mansion until he gets to the point where it intersects with your trail, at which point he'll start following you. But we all realized it, because it's obvious and it couldn't possibly be more clear. Club's Deuce, implement nefarious scheme. You'll follow Droog's simple instructions. So simple even a forgetful nincompoop like you can remember. There's a blood trail on the floor that goes in a different direction than Trace went. You decide to follow it because that sounds like a really good idea to you. If there was something you were supposed to do after helping out Droog, you'll be damned if you remember what it is. Trace catches up to where you were, but you're already long gone. All he sees is the long, gross, rubbery arms of your past trail stretching through the room. He finds his comrade tied up with the stretchy rubber arms of a small man, but there's nothing gross or unpalatable about that in the least. Doze unslows himself and begins mumbling something feverishly about his hat.
Finn makes his way to the mansion to get some help. He wonders where this little guy's going. Deuce's future trail is headed in the same direction he's headed, by sheer coincidence. Finn decides to follow him for a bit, keep an eye on him. For as long as Deuce's path matches his, that is. There's pretty much no chance he's headed to the same place, though. That would be statistically improbable. He's got no idea what these other goons are up to here. Funny, their future trails end here. He's not gonna stick around long enough to find out why. He's a bit too woozy from the blood loss to sort out this mess anyway.
Club's Deuce, follow the Red Blood Road.
It's uncanny. This little guy's matching Finn's route every step of the way. He must know something. Finn decides he's gotta take him out. But he can't get a clear shot. Too dizzy, and with all that C4 under Deuce's hat, firing would be a bad idea. My God, he's thought of everything. Clearly dealing with a criminal mastermind here.
You stop to admire this gorgeous clock. It's so pretty. Too bad it's not ticking like so many of the other clocks in this place. Not that you can blame them. There's so many clocks in this mansion, it would obviously be impractical to make sure they all work properly. Oh, look! A trail of blood!
He's so fucking stupid that you can't actually figure out what he's doing. He's so unpredictable. Oh my god. This is just so ridiculous. I can't believe I'm actually, like, following this. This is such a trip. You could just tell that this was made for drugs. Why would sober people watch this? Okay, I think we just got a donation. Let me double check. Like, sober people would not be watching this. Victory through sheer stupidity. I mean, doesn't evolution favor, you know, the lazy? Isn't it something like that? Okay, let me find... Where on hell is Streamlabs? Oh, here it is. You cannot log into Streamlabs. Why? Log me in. No, that's Steam. Streamlabs. Okay, log me in. Okay, I'm not logged in. Alright, I'm logging in. Hopefully this doesn't blow up everything. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up my chat. Please do not. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Is the chat okay? Is the chat okay? Can someone say something really quickly? I'm scared the chat just blew up. Oh, Mike. Help towards the goal. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Every time I log into Streamlabs, everything refreshes, so it's always a risk. Sometimes when I log in, everything on the screen just blows up. It's okay? Cool. Alright. Let's go intermission part 3. Let's see where these shenanigans lead. Now, Hutchin, you said your lesson is at 1:30, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be good by then. Wait, what is this thing? Is this? What, is it this? Oh, it's just the silver part. Oh, okay. Alright, let's get this perfectly symmetrical, because OCD's a bitch. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, cool. Let's go. Act 3, intermission part 3.
You hate time travel, 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 you hate time travel.
Above, a spectator has appeared at the strike of 4 and has been giggling at your foolishness for a number of minutes. Clover would have been tickled to help you open
Riddler.
this vault, at the cost of answering a few of his time riddles, needless to say. If only you thought to seek his help first rather than charging like the silly brute you are into this deadly trap of stable and not so stable time loops. Mostly unstable, really. These guys are way too dumb to maintain even elementary loop instability for more than a couple iterations. If you weren't so preoccupied, Clover could tell you that you could use Crowbar's help to pry anything out of a time loop, stable or otherwise. If you weren't so preoccupied, and if he weren't so dead,
What the hell is this
Stitch muttered to
thing?
himself in his shop. He guesses eggs and biscuits are roughhousing again, because the fabric of space-time is tearing something fierce on Lord English's Cairo overcoat. This sort of thing is exactly why he keeps a backup coat, and always leaves Stitch with one of them. Any gang does well to have an in-house doctor on hand, but if you deal in time travel, you better have a damn good tailor too.
Slick, get your scrawny ass to the vault! It's goddamn bedlam down here! I asked Deuce for backup, but surprise, surprise, he's nowhere to be found! Big surprise! That was sarcasm!
I know. Look, I'll be right there. I'll see if I can round up crew for support.
Deuce is tailing Finn while I'm tailing Deuce. I'll be there to help out boxcars as soon as me and Deuce take care of business with Stitch. Couldn't be simpler. Oh yeah, I also pumped Finn full of lead so you can cross him off the list.
Alright, roger that.
Finboy sent to Stitch's workshop blubbering something about watching out for the little guy who's about to come in here. He says to watch out because he's got a bomb on his head which is undoubtedly quite volatile, and even the slightest spark would surely set it off.
Stitch sees Finn's obviously in pretty bad shape. Checks his effigy. Sure enough, the thing's in tatters. But he should be fine if it can be patched up before he bleeds to death.
Eight out of 15 green torsos dead.
Clubsdeuce! Bursting, thrusting, bull penis cane! Everybody out of the goddamn way! You got a hatful of bomb, a fistful of penis, and a headful of empty!
Drop the livestock knob and settle the hell down. You do realize C4 is a stable explosive and won't detonate with gunfire, right?
C3 is the unstable one. C4 is the one that you actually need to detonate through an electrical charge, I believe. Which is why it's basically like Play-Doh.
Don't bleed on the suits.
Huh?
You admit, the thought of carrying an imprisoned tailor wherever you go is gratifying for personal reasons. But in this case, keeping him alive should be useful in dealing with English later.
Hot's boxcars, prawn idiots with red cheeks. This predictably accomplished nothing. Taking your smut out of hiding turned out to be a very bad idea. Now copies from the future are appearing left and right, and these clowns have to pause all over it. Slick, where the hell are you?
You remove Crowbar's pin. Crowbar's alive again, and a whole bunch of other stuff is different. You forgot this gang almost seems halfway competent when he's running the show. The good news is you get to kill him again. It is suggested that you and Soyton quickly remove Snowman's pin. You have no idea how much you'd like to, but even you're not that crazy. Still.
So what, if you remove a pin, you go into a timeline where he's actually alive. So you just insert a pin to get into the timeline when someone's dead. Doesn't that mean that the guy that teleported into this timeline is from a different timeline? Because he only came to this timeline after he put the pin in for the guy that was obviously cheating. So there's another guy in this timeline from... It's probably in another time. God damn it! This thing is a trip! It's a lady, isn't it? Of course it is.
Hold still, Slick. Something in your eye.
Ouch. Fuck. Ugh. Everyone always ceases gunplay when Snowman's around. And if you kill her, you destroy the universe. It is suggested that you remove the knife from your eye. It's not a knife. Snowman's cigarette holder. All you know is she's gonna have a hell of a time getting it back. You chucked a lance at Sawbuck. But of course, it's only a flesh wound. Seems like that's the only sort of wound you can ever inflict on that corpulent lummox. Consequently, you and he both jumped to a random point on the timeline. This looks to be in the recent past, where Stitch and Crowbar were setting up the crates for an imminent gunfight, which was very thoughtful of them. Your goons should be showing up any minute with the heavy firepower. For now, you've got the drop on everybody. It is suggested that you kill something out of rage and frustration. Stitch gets the business into your saber rattle. He's dead. In this timeline, at least. It is further suggested that you bring knives to the gunfight. Where do you think you're going, fatty? You'll deal with him in a minute. You whip out your double-edged sword and Occam's razor. Occam's razor, Crowbar's head. Make it happen.
Who's the guy in the
Crowbar
background?
deflects the King of Spades into Sawbuck's unmissable carriage. You jump far into the
Oh
past.
God!
Years in the past, which is to say the present for the time being, a scurrilous straggler eyes the impromptu desert squeamish. He dismisses them as a bunch of ill-mannered rogues warranting no further investigation. Although he does give a small nod of approval to the plain and serviceable hat worn by one of the
It's
combatants,
more about
who strikes him
timeline
as an
changing due to the
absolutely
pin being
smashing
removed. Person's
display of
alive, the
good fashion
timeline
sense.
order corrects. So everything that would have happened is modified as what would happen if that person was alive. So say, I don't know, we bring a person that's dead back to life. Bam, everything in our realities changed like he never died. Shit. But wait, doesn't that mean you can get into a point in time where someone's alive, put the pin in, your reality turns into them dead, but you don't know at what point they died? Damn it, no, I'm not going through that train of thought. No, stop. Stop with the time shenanigans. This is getting ridiculous. My head is starting to get filled with useless shit.
You hit Crowbar on the head. You can't kill him yet. You need him alive to return to the original timeline. You will be taking that crowbar, though. You cram him in the war chest. Sawbuck you need to keep alive, too. For
Remember
the
how
moment. Not to
Spade
return
said
to
he
the right
made this
timeline,
town,
but to the right
and when
time.
his pin was
Speaking
added,
of which,
the town became just dust. Ew.
where's Tubby think he's waddling off to? It suggested that you just go stab Sawbuck until the time shenanigans stop. You treat him to a bit of the old bait and switchblade. You'll be in the future. You guess this is after the gunfight is over? The gunfight that never took place since you kidnapped everyone who was supposed to be involved? Looks like only Boxcars is here. You carry Sawbuck like Titan Atlas would carry the world. You order Hots to drop his tub on the double before this fat lord puts you in a wheelchair. If you take Sawbuck back to your own time and kill him there, that should save you the trouble of hunting him down. Might as well take Stitch too. Maybe. You're not really sure if that's how it works. You don't really care though. You dump him in the raft tub and stick the tub in your own deck of cards. But you give Boxcars back his sordid literature, which he carelessly left in plain sight. No one will ever catch you leaving your smut around, and even if you did, that copy of Terrier Fancy
I like how
magazine
they
could
just
belong to
revealed
anybody.
at the end
No
of
one could
Act
prove
3
nothing.
that there's time shenanigans going around. And the intermission itself between Act 3 and Act 4 is a clusterfuck of time shenanigans. It's like they just had to wait long enough for you to realize that time is a thing in this thing, and then they just fucking bombard you with time shenanigans.
Stick Crowbar's pin back in again, and you go back to your original timeline. But now, stuffed in your chest, you've got a live Crowbar from another timeline. Brought to the timeline where he's supposed to be dead. So you guess he's alive in this timeline, which is in part defined by his death? Okay, whatever. Should probably just kill him again anyway. Also, Sawbuck from another timeline is in there too. So you guess now there are two Sawbucks. This is getting kinda dumb. You open the chest, releasing them both. Crowbar doesn't look too pleased. You deflect his gunfire into the awesome gravitational pull of Sawbuck's astonishing girth. Everybody into the past! You dodge his next round too. It seems the Sawbuck from this timeline, i.e. the real Sawbuck, was in this room at this
Name
point
for the
in
number
time.
of sides on a
He and Crowbar
standard
exchange
cubic
bullets.
die, as
Off
die
they go.
as in death. Die carries a voodoo doll and a number of pins, corresponding to both the Felt and the Midnight Crew. When a pin is inserted into the doll, the holder is warped to an alternate timeline defined by the death of whoever the pin corresponded to. Although the nature and time of death vary greatly, Die uses this skill to settle grudges with other members, by warping to timelines where they are no longer alive, since it's the comic just making you aware that time shenanigans have been happening all along. Intermission is like time shenanigans vacation. So like this story means absolutely nothing because it's time shenanigans for time shenanigans. You could just pull all the fucking pins out and it's like nothing ever happened. Fuck off. This is some filler arc bullshit right here. Where it threatens the world itself, and then in the grand scheme, nothing happened. This is like the Bount arc in fucking Bleach.
They no doubt go on to spend the rest of their ammunition peppering each other across the timeline, destroying all these clocks in the process between now and the present. You guess that explains the mess when you got here. Thank God you figured that out. You'd surely have lost sleep over it. 20 out of 107 clocks were destroyed.
Oh my God.
What a voice time. Eventually. You know what? Never mind! It suggested that you take a moment to think of some time-based one-liners. Okay, you think you got one. Time travel sure can be a double-edged sword! Wait, that was awful. Really, really bad. You sure you can do better than that? Let's see. Sorry to... No. Time's running. No, wait. Fuck. You ask yourself from the past for a little help. Time's... No, something about time. Time being up. No, wait. How about some kind of clock pun? No, damn it. Will you just listen? You're almost onto something. Time is... Screw this! Too many cooks in the kitchen. Oh, and just what does this quivering mound of blubber think he's up to? Stab first, other puns later. Just as you hear your past self asking what happened to your eye, you jab Sawbuck with your butterfly effect knife. You remember a little while ago asking yourself about your eye, and not giving yourself an answer just before disappearing. Maybe if you stopped and thought about it for a second, you could have warned yourself and avoided the whole mess, albeit in the process of creating a paradox. But your strict policy of stabbing first and asking questions later prevented it. You're sure your past self understands/understood. You are sure of this because you very clearly remember understanding/understooding. You are now past Spade Slick. Again. You were just about to pull Crowbar's pin. You guess all that stuff with your future self and Sawbuck originally happened in this room while we were all off watching someone else, like Diamond Stroke or something. Yeah, that makes sense. You remove Crowbar's pin. A whole bunch of shit happens that we already saw. Past Spade Slick. Be future Spade Slick. Being your future self is a lot more constructive because you get to do stuff you haven't already done. Looks like you're in the future. It's a bloody mess in here. The clocks are more bullet-riddled than ever. It seems Crowbar and both Sawbucks have been decapitated. You're almost certain this is something you will be, or were already responsible for. Which of course means more time traveling. Looks like the tub and chest are gone, which means future you must have packed up and left already. Gotta take note of these sort of things so you know where they are on the timeline. You notice something on the wall over there. One of the clocks that wasn't destroyed before is now bloodied and full of holes. Not especially noteworthy. You just have a feeling you should register this fact. 108 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. It suggested that you quickly remove Lance from Sawbuck. You pried a cigarette holder from his torso. Whoops, another time jump. This tub of goo keeps going for his gun. Widebody's gotta settle his big ass down. Should really incapacitate him without inflicting another wound. Count some sheep, bitch! Wait, the clock on the wall. It hasn't been destroyed yet. But it's about to be. It's ticking down to the time it's stuck on in the future. Maybe if you time it just right, you can end this whole mess in one fell slice. You even got a nice cold one-liner to dish out when the time comes. You've been working on it pretty hard. Wait for it. Hate to cut in. Wait, no, not yet. Wait for it. Hate to cut in. Damn it, not yet. Hate to cut and run. Shit. Hate to chop all your heads off with this sword. Real sorry about that. My bad. You slay them all with your rapier wit. 9 out of 15 green torsos dead. 2 out of 9 green torsos dead and twice. 1 out of 15 green torsos dead for the first time, but it's an alternate universe torso, so maybe that doesn't count. 7 out of 108 clocks gratuitously redestroyed. Grab the tub and chest and move on. That is altogether enough of this nonsense.
I'm gonna have weird dreams tonight. My dreams tonight are gonna be fucked. Oh, God. Let's read Homestuck Act 3, Part 4, which is the finale of Act 3 Intermission. Oh, boy. God. Oh, man. Just, oh, God. Oh. I'm looking forward to watching Back to the Future with Hutchin for the first time and having to explain to her how that time theory works. I do not want to have to. I'm just hitting play.
What's your status, Slick?
Okay, I killed Crowbar again, Sawbuck twice, and Stitch once.
Was it an alternate timeline, Stitch?
I guess so.
That doesn't count. I've got the real one right here.
Fucking shitting douching asshole.
Never mind. Hurry down and meet me at the vault.
Wait, hold on, I took some damage from Snowman.
I know. I'm having some effigies made of ourselves with the backup hats. Deuce brought your crumpled backup hat, which he wound up with somehow. Not sure what happened to his, though. And as we both know, Boxcars is tied up at the moment, so I can't get my hands on his yet.
That guy sounds competent.
I got both their hats, so I'll be down as soon as I can.
Alright.
In the meantime, see what you can do about this eye.
Diamond Stroog. Have Stitch patch up Spade Slick's effigy. Get to work, Thread Monkey.
Droog! Fuck! Oh, undo it! This time wait until I'm turned around.
It's the right eye, right? Were you facing left or right?
It's only right when facing left. It's the left eye when facing right.
Oh, so it's the left-right eye.
Yeah, but hang on a minute, I gotta turn around so it's right-left.
Okay, I'll wait.
That's better. Spade Slick, arm yourself in case Can shows up. If Can shows up, none of these weapons you got are gonna do any good. You admire the lance for a moment. It's a pretty sweet weapon with outstanding craftsmanship. At least it got something out of the eye gouging. She'll have to pry this thing from your rigid severed arm if she wants it back. It is suggested that you ride around on a horse hitcher pretending to joust. Yeehaw! Oh shit! You can't believe she saw you horsing around like that. You will never live this down.
It is suggested that you shoot up Biscuit and Egg's effigies. Stitch keeps their effigies in a big warehouse several miles away because of their ridiculous duplication tendencies. You're sure as hell not gonna drive all the way over there, so you just shoot at them in person. This was a ridiculously terrible idea.
Charge! This is incredibly delirious business. You start whacking things with the crowbar. The first thing you whack is Eggs' egg timer. Do this because of course you know that Crowbar's crowbar will destroy any temporal artifact and completely negate its effect on the timeline.
Hot boxcars. Attempt to eat eggs.
Oh, God.
Your attempt was an overwhelming success.
Biscuits is looking a tad snug at his muffin tray. He, thinks it's about time to poke a broom straw in this battle. His dough will live to rise another day. See you in the future, suckers! Slick, Crowbar, Biscuits oven, make it happen. You deal the oven a wicked flogging, but not much happens. The oven doesn't really have any magical time properties to be negated. It just travels into the future at a rate of 1 second per second, like everyone else.
Clubs deuce! Put dynamite in oven! You set the bomb to go off in a few seconds, when both it and Biscuits are released from it in a few hours. Clubs deuce! Turn up the heat on Biscuits' oven! You're pretty sure this oven doesn't actually work at all. You just wheel it off to someplace else in the mansion so it can explode
Fuck
in
me.
peace.
12 out of 15 green torsos dead. Probably some more clocks destroyed too. Since your exploit safecracker apparently spent the last 5 or 6 hours being totally useless down here, you figure it's time to take things in your own hands. Huh? What's this little fellow waked up about?
Clove insisted you reconsider. Using it to pry open the vault would be ever so much bad luck. Like breaking 1,000 mirrors all at once. The sort of mirrors that tick and have numbers and tell time and stuff. That's the worst kind of mirror to break, luck-wise.
You politely ask Clover to remain calm. He refuses outright and starts doing a really frisky jig.
Doody doody doodoo doody doody doodoo.
He begins spinning a fanciful series of riddles illuminating the true path to opening the vault. Mysterious music fills your ears as your mind assumes the shape of a pretzel.
Doody doody doodoo doody doody doodoo doodoo doody doodoo 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 doody doodoo.
This is how the music would sound if we were listening to it right now.
Diamond Stroog. Ask Clover for the ultimate riddle. You ask Clover to open the safe.
What's this? You think you can shoot Clover? He's so lucky the gun will probably jam or something predictable like that. Nice try, though.
You just start whacking him with a newspaper instead. You don't have to be all that unlucky to get whacked around with a newspaper. It's sort of a gray area. This isn't a real newspaper. It's just a wrapper for your private sorted literature, which no one can ever see. Uh-oh, it's slipping out a bit. Your appetite for monochrome beauties is nearly on public display. Gotta keep a lid on that smut, especially with Clover around. Suddenly, the whole vault room is shaking. You wonder what it could be. It sounds suspiciously like Cans is about to plow through the wall Kool-Aid Man style. You pray to God that it's not Cans about to plow through the wall Kool-Aid Man style. All of a sudden, Cans plows through the wall Kool-Aid Man style. Diamond Stroog. Resist urge to shout, oh yeah.
Oh no!
He punches you in the next week. You find yourself going about your business a week later. Looks like you're doing a little grocery shopping. You're a bit confused, having no memory of the previous week. You have no idea what's on your grocery list. Are you out of milk? What kind of produce do you need to stock up on? This is all a little overwhelming. And to make things worse,
The selection has too many prices and problems.
Battle technique! Torso flail! You fling the torso Cansward in an attempt to placate him with red meat. It doesn't work. Cans clocks you entirely out of the current calendar year. You land in a totally different, outdated calendar.
Oh, God.
Looks like this one's themed with spirited horses. You'll be up to your ass in horses for a whole year. Just great. This is just what you need to be doing. Farming all these goddamn horses. Fucking pain in the ass.
You don't care what the consequences are. You were gonna crack open this safe and be done with it. This whole intermission was starting to get a little punchy anyway. The massive release of temporal distortion from the vault transports you to a highly unfavorable timeline. Looks like the entire mansion was leveled, except for the vault and its enclosure. Everyone's dead except for you and you know who. But at least the safe's open. 1,000 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. 14 out of 15 green torsos dead. 3 out of 4 black scofflaws offed. You enter the vault. There's nothing in here except an opening in the floor. There's a door with a keyhole, and you have a feeling you know how to open it. You only wonder why English's treasure would be locked behind a door with a spade on it. You guess this is what the spade key was for all this time. You dramatically wield the spade key in a matter-of-fact manner. Peek inside the keyhole. What keyhole? It was clearly a barcode scanner all along. Like the kind they sweep groceries over at supermarkets. That reminds you, you should really do some shopping next week. You're not gonna peek inside because the lasers could blind you in one eye. Oh wait! This was never a problem because there's clearly a barcode printed on your rules card for blackjack. As well as your arm. But there's nothing wrong with little redundancy, you guess. Huh?
Decent shot.
Oh, you looking for this? Well, come and get it, you contemptuous she-witch!
Snowman's black inches no doubt have been responsible for more than a few red cheeks.
What?
You gotta flip it. This guy again. It's been a long time. I get it. Yeah, you.
I hate a moral coward, one who lacks a manly spark. I just detest a man afraid to go home in the dark. I always spend my evening where there's women, wine and song, but like a man I always bring my little wife along. I'm a member of the midnight crew. I'm a night owl and a wise bird too. Home with the milk in the morning, singing the same old song. Rise with the moon, go to bed with the sun. Early to bed and you'll miss all the fun. Bring your wife in trouble, it will never trouble you. Make her a member of the midnight crew. Wah, 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 wah. The fun, it doesn't stop till 12 on happy old Broadway. So what's the use of going home until the break of day? Now something confidential, whisper not above a breath. I once went home at 2 a.m. and scared my wife to death. I'm a member of the midnight crew. I'm a night owl and a wise bird too. Home with the milk in the morning, singing the same old song. Rise with the moon, go to bed with the sun. Early to bed and you'll miss all the fun. Bring your wife in trouble, it will never trouble you. Make her a member of the midnight crew. Wah, 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 wah. I never shall forget the night I made 6 rappers run. Although I didn't have a knife, a blackjack, or a gun, I proved myself a hero of a very high degree. I ran for home and 6 of them were running after me. I'm a member of the midnight crew. I'm a night owl and a wise bird too. Home with the milk in the morning, singing the same old song. Rise with the moon, go to bed with the sun. Early to bed and you'll miss all the fun. Bring your wife in trouble, it will never trouble you. Make her a member of the midnight crew. Make her a member of the midnight.
Oh, so this was released like weekly. Wow. And they had 2,300 subscribers. So I'm guessing this got released on YouTube. It's really nice to see productions like this when people are still breaking out. Because at the beginning, it's all enthusiasm, and the skills are a little rough around the edges. And then you get to see the skills develop, and of course the fan base grows and the number of people watching grows. But it's nice to see where people started from, because that's that raw, that raw essence. I like that. I like that. That's a really nice part. And I'm guessing at some point they really, blew up. They're probably on like 1 million now. Sadly, they took a 3-year hiatus and only have recently started again. Oh. Well, things like this would take a lot of time. This would take a lot of time. So, yeah, it would take a lot of time. It's not easy. It's not easy. As with any content or any work, It does take time, it does take effort, and I think they sometimes deserve a break. I don't know, like 3 years is a big hiatus, but you never know what the circumstances are. You know, people end up having to move, people lose jobs, people get new jobs, you know, people have a kid, people lose someone, people get sick, you know, like stuff happens. But the fact that they came back after a hiatus goes to show how much they care, which is cool. Which is cool for us. It's always nice to start something and know that it's either recently started again or it's still going, because it lets you get up to date. And looking at the downloads, it says, let's read Homestuck Act 6 Intermission 3 Part 7. So I'm guessing that it's still going. Ah, so it's still going. That's cool, because it means at a certain point we're going to intersect where it's currently up to, and we're going to be watching current releases, which means we're going to be discussing things for the first time, apart from obviously people that have read the comic who already knows what's going to happen. But that's like reading the manga and watching the anime. Not everyone's going to read the manga. You know, there's going to be some people that are watching the anime, and for them it's going to be cool. So, no spoilers, please. But I think that's cool, right? So, we're going to get to that point, which is sweet. Alright, we had a good hustle. I think this was a nice stream. We are up to volume 11 for Hiveswap Friendsim. We've wrapped up Act 3 for Hiveswap. Now, this is going to be me trying to grasp my mind about what the best way to do this is. We have Hiveswap Act 1 on the gaming channel. We've started Hiveswap Friendsim on the gaming channel. And yeah, this is a reaction to a webcomic. So it kind of puts me with this question of, do I edit this out and pop it on the gaming channel because Homestuck is related to the games? Or do I edit this out and pop it on the reaction channel because it's reacting to a webcomic, and potentially people that are watching reaction stuff and don't necessarily play games might be into Homestuck? I'm a little confused on the best way to sort of put this on YouTube. What do you guys think? Because I know I put Danganronpa abridged reactions on the reaction channel because it was an abridged. Whereas on... yeah, it's a bit... I mean, I could put it on both, but then it's kind of... weird that I have the same video on two channels.